Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, and I hope you were around for Amy Snyder's report there from the TWRA about all the things that have been transpiring in about the last 10 days or so about chronic wasting disease, and I wrote about it in the Commercial Appeal last Sunday, and a lot of news are happening, and when I need some advice or talk about certain things like this, I go to my good friend Allan Houston. He's a professor at UT Station there at Ames Plantation. Good morning, Allan.
Good morning.
All right, let's talk about it, Allan. I know your place, as Amy said, will be one of the places that they'll take their deer beginning today as to serve as a place to just check things out and to know, see what's going to happen this weekend. So I guess they'll be right there where your deer club is. That where they're going to be bringing their deer from your area?
Yeah, that's right, Larry. Right there at the check-in station. They came yesterday and set up the cooler, and TWRA personnel will be there this weekend. And any deer killed, of course, this weekend has to be brought to one of the stations they've set up, and this is one.
And this
They'll take the samples, and I set up a special hunt for our guys. We suspended all the rules and told the guys to come in, kind of an all-hands-on deck.
Good.
Come on in, let's try to get some samples. Because Ames is big, it's 30 square miles, and we should perhaps be able to maybe show something that'll be helpful.
And that's what we're doing here, and then and you talked about it. How did they get here? All those questions like that. That's all behind us now. We just gotta make sure that we're able to contain it, see where it's at. Do you know, as a deer, can you tell me if one of the deers that they have now confirmed 4 in Hardeman County, 9 in Fayette County, was any of those deer on the plantation?
Yeah, we had one doe. She was 1.5 years old.
Uh-huh.
And she came in a little underweight, but it was not the kind of thing that you would have. Actually, she did come in maybe significantly underweight. She dressed at 56 pounds. And
yeah.
We thought she was a fawn.
Uh-huh.
So she probably lost about 20 pounds, and it was probably due to CWD.
CWD, and folks out there, if you're in the layman terms, Allan, what is CWD?
Well, it's chronic wasting disease. Chronic, which means it's ongoing. Wasting means they waste away. And they can carry the disease for a good long while, up to a couple of years, before they really manifest symptoms that we would recognize as being classic chronic wasting disease. But during that time, they're contagious. They're shedding the prion, and other deer can catch it from deer that are infected. And then in the last several weeks, 6-8 weeks, once the actual disease manifests itself in classic form, the animal goes downhill very quickly. And
as Amy was explaining, the season now goes through. We got an extra month just about here. I mean, we go till the end of January. It sounds like the duck season. But we're to the point that this is the only way, and from a point of view, the only way you're going to get samples is to take down deer, right?
That's correct. The only way we're going to have, or they, TWRA or any of us, are going to know anything about how widely spread the disease is, what percentage of the herd has it, what age classes might have it, whether the bucks have it more than the does. There's no way for us to know anything. We're just guessing, shooting in the dark, until they can get enough sampling in to see what they're battling.
And this at this time of the year, we've never hunted deer in January in Tennessee. Of course, we've hunted it early, and so you're hunting. You're still hunting the same way you've always hunted, but it's just going to feel weird to me. I'm telling you what, to hunt that long into January. But from your point of view, and you've been studying, this is not something just happened overnight. I know you guys, you've been heavily involved in the aftermath of this. Why do you think it's just happened recently?
Well, we just found it recently, and TWRA, of course, has had a monitoring all along, but once the deer was positive in North Mississippi,
yeah,
everything went up.
it did.
And during that intensified sampling, boom, we found 10 deer, and that was just astounding. I was not surprised. Well, we found one, but to find 10, and I think they found 3 more.
3 more now. Yeah, 3 more.
And we will find more. It indicates that it has been here for not just this season, but probably a couple of seasons at least.
Yeah.
It doesn't take very many deer to infect very many deer, and it's just got a toehold, and here we have it. I'm not going to guess what the percentage might be. I don't think it's 30% or 20% or even 10%, but there's a fair percent in certain core areas where just for whatever reason it blossomed. There'll be a significant percentage of the deer that have it, I think.
What about, and your club is one of the respected clubs, you guys, since you started the Ames Plantation Hunting Club. What have you told your people who are members of the club, and what kind of reaction have you gotten? Because I know people who say, I'm not going to deer hunt anymore. I'm going to give it up, and all these different kind of things. What have you heard? Because, you have a significant group there that you can actually get information from. So talk about that from your club angle.
Well, are you still with me? Did I lose you?
No, I've been with you for a long time. So you've tried to lose me a couple of times. I know that.
Yeah, I did do that one time.
You did, yes, you did.
Blue from somebody who said, "Can you come and get me?" I said, "Well, now
let's move on."
If you're lost, how can I find you? But to get back to your question,
there was too many rubs that day. Okay, all right, so move on.
And foggy too.
Yeah.
Once I heard that the deer in South Mississippi had been found, it was east out of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
I thought, well, Bronson Strickland, Dr. Strickland, at Mississippi State, I thought, let's get him up and talk to our guys, educate us, because some questions will be floating around. They don't float, really, until you have it in your backyard.
That's right.
He gave an outstanding presentation. So the guys were kind of up to snuff. We have an annual supper. And then when it hit, we have a newsletter, and I send it out regularly. And I stay as transparent as I can and just tell them where we are, what's happening. But they're like everybody else, particularly with a club like this with so much at stake for how much they've built.
Yeah.
There's grief, there's anger, they're sad. They're running the full scope of emotions that a lot of deer hunters here in Tennessee. Up fear, what are we going to do? And typically when these things hit, or CWD hits, people back away from hunting for a while. They're afraid, but then they learn to cope, and they come back to a new normal. It's not a good normal, but it's a new normal. And now that it's moved east of the Mississippi into some big population centers, I suspect that there will be an increased, political is not the word, but with a heightened awareness, there will probably be an increased demand for research. Now, just because we plop research down on it, a prion is a very, very difficult thing to deal with.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's so much that's going in here. I want to get back with you, Allan, a little bit, maybe in a couple of weeks. So we'll talk about where we are and things along that line. But thank you for taking time, buddy. And now we have plenty of time for me to go on a doe hunt, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You come on. Yeah, you come on. I'll put you in a place where there are no rubs.
There are no rubs. That's the way he's done before. Thanks, Allan Houston. All right, buddy. Happy New Year. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, sir.
All right. Allan Houston. All right. Now let's take a break. Let's move on to duck hunting now, Charlie, okay? We have done the dread segments back to back here. So let's take a break. Shelby McCall is pushing all the buttons. Be right back, and we're going to talk a little duck hunting with a local company called Rolling Thunder Duck Call on Outdoors with Larry Ray.